You're Not Broken, Chapter 6. So this is a book by Christopher Michael Duncan. It involves the 5 steps to become superconscious and activate your magic. It's really powerful stuff to manifest the desired reality you want. And yeah, go back to the beginning, watch them all in order, and enjoy. Chapter 6, Becoming Superconscious. For most of my life, I was told that power was outside of me, so I was on a continual search to find the answer. If there was ever a challenge in my life, in brackets, health, financial, emotional, spiritual, or relational, close bracket, I assumed there was something wrong with me that I had to overcome. Once I realized I had the power to create, transform, and heal, everything was different. Our power has been hidden from us and is even labeled incorrectly. It is common knowledge there is the placebo effect, which can be increased or decreased. The more our patient believes in the process, the more it will work. This is true even to the point that a patient gets better results even from a sugar pill than others will get given the real pill. The placebo effect just disguises our own power to create transformation in our own bodies. It's not an effect, it's our natural ability. When you connect back to your power and realize you are not your body but creative energy that is having a body experience, you really can create miracles. Let's get you connected to your superconscious and restart your working relationship. Connecting with your superconscious. Your superconscious mind is an infinite field of information. It is always there. You have been able to work with it many times before because it is you. Up until now, you have not had a system to connect and communicate predictably with this part of yourself. Your superconscious works in 2 ways: to give you instructions on how to be and provide insight into the future. Your superconscious is always communicating with you. Let's do a small exercise so you can realize this communication. It is true, you actually have 3 brains in your physical body, all aspects of your unconscious mind. They all send you messages. The 3 are your heart, your gut/stomach, and your head. They are all connected to the superconscious field. Let's do a quick exercise to become aware of this. Please don't skip ahead in this process. Take it one step at a time for the full benefit. First, think of a moment when you made a mistake and got something wrong. Once you have it, close your eyes and experience the moment again, like a movie playing in your head. Create a full sensory experience of this moment. Notice where you feel the emotion in your body. What kind of emotion is it? Are there colors associated with it? Allow yourself to go into the moment and observe what is happening in your body. Now write down a few notes, e.g., I'm dyslexic and I'm not really sure what all these letters and dots always mean. E.G. That's not etc, is it? That's exaggeration? Abbreviation? I don't know. Now write down a few notes, e.g., remember a time you did something right, when you won and everything worked out. Once you have it, close your eyes and experience... Oh, okay. I'll give some time for this. Now that you have done that, remember a time you did something right, when you won and everything worked out. Once you have it, close your eyes and experience the moment again, like a movie playing in your head. Create a full sensory experience of this moment. Notice where in your body you feel the emotion. What kind of emotion is it? Are there colors associated with it? Allow yourself to go into the moment and observe what is happening in your body. Now write down a few notes. I felt expansion in my chest and a tingling of energy that was light and free. for example. What is the difference between those sensations in your body? Lots, I would assume. Usually your heart/chest field is activated when you are in your truth, growth, and positive end results. Your gut/stomach field is activated when you are coming from fear/uncertainty/doubt. You can learn how to get clear messages in this way, but for now, this general description is enough. This is your first step to inner standing. You have many other communication systems besides just your head brain. I have become so fluent in how my superconscious communicates with my unconscious that I can get a read on nearly every situation instantly without needing justification from my logical brain as to why it is right. This can take some time, so for now we will focus on a 3-step system for you to create a connection with your superconscious. To connect to your superconscious, you must get out of your thinking mind and go back into an innocent/open/present state where you are able to perceive what is happening without the judgment you have conditioned over your lifetime. Our process of communicating with the superconscious looks like this. 1. Go into innocence/drop into your heart. Connect with your superconscious. 2. Connect to your superconscious through direct communication. And 3. Get information through a message or symbol. Let's explore each step of this process. To drop down into your heart or access innocence is to stop needing to know. The heart field is your unconscious. The heart field is your connection to your childlike, playful imagination, which is the unified field. Most of us are not familiar with experiencing the world from this place. We stopped doing it a long time ago. Remember, to make sense of the world, our brains create shortcuts to know how it is. The shortcuts that we create allow us to navigate this world without having to relearn how it all works. When you see a baby at the beach for the first time, a kitten playing with a leaf in the wind, or lovers in the budding stage of romance, you can see the joy that comes from witnessing something for the first time. Eyes wide open, fully present in the moment. Unfortunately, you won't notice this on the face of many adults because they have already learned everything they need to know. They have generalized the world around them to fit into a pre-programmed model. They have... Start again, slightly fucked that up. Sorry, I shouldn't swear. Or I should. Fuck you. I will say what I like. Anyway, they have generalized the world around them to fit into pre-programmed models that already exist, and they are missing out on accessing their superconscious. If it is not new or important, the brain does not want to take up extra resources paying attention to it. The first kiss eventually turns into a daily peck on the cheek. Our once astounding sunset eventually becomes just another sunset. By the age of 35, you have likely witnessed more things for the first time, and instead of experiencing awe, most of your life is now aligned with the pre-programmed worldview of how it is. The truth is, so much more is going on than you are aware of. If you have ever had a life-threatening experience, you have likely had an experience of superconscious awareness. You were able to slow down time, give things more consideration, and make decisions at lightning speed. This level of consciousness is always there, but you can't live there all the time. You don't need to relearn what a truck is every day or become awestruck when a leaf moves. This would be exhausting. However, there are times when you want to be able to suspend what you think you know and go into a superconscious awareness to get all the information. In short, we are accustomed to unconsciously deciding how something is. We do not give ourselves time to witness. Where was I? Stop yawning. We do not give ourselves time to witness all that really is. The reality you think you see is actually not the reality that is there. You are making the reality fit your worldview or what is reasonable. Your preconditioned patterns that control the narrative are also known as confirmation bias. We assume how something is supposed to be and find ways to prove our reality to be true, but you can basically prove anything. If you look hard enough, you can find a way to confirm any thought pattern. You can confirm that men are liars and cheats. Yet, all the same, you can confirm they are great citizens. You can confirm the government is against you, and you can confirm they have your best interests at heart. You can confirm all sides of any belief system, but in doing so, you don't truly recognize what is there. To really see the truth, you must learn to stop needing to know how it is. You must not know. You must go into a childlike place of presence, awe, openness, and innocence. Only from this place can you see what is really in front of you, what actions you should take, and what is true. This is easier said than done. In a world addicted to the demand of knowing how everything is, we don't give ourselves space to really see things for the first time or witness them as they really are. To move into a place of not needing to know, we must become innocent to the moment. This is the first step in hearing/perceiving what information the superconscious has for you. Genius, information, and intuition are outside of what you already know. The second and third steps involve connecting to the superconscious to get information. There are two ways I communicate with the superconscious: through direct communication and by receiving information I have to decipher. Direct communication with the superconscious is easy to do and is done most effectively with muscle/body testing. Body testing is a good way to get answers straight from your superconscious because it goes around your thinking brain. I have coached thousands of this method, and they get a yes/no answer from the superconscious. Body testing is effective but slow because you have to know the right questions to ask, or go through a binary yes/no question set to finally find the truth. In our certification training, which I have access to, and yes, it costs thousands of pounds, stay tuned. In our certification training, we have a set of questions we teach to help our coaches find the exact resistance that's stopping someone from taking the correct action. The second way I interact with the superconscious is by getting clear messages. They are usually metaphors, symbols, sounds, images, stories, and sometimes a word. The superconscious often sends the unconscious information in the form of a symbol, metaphor, or picture. The message is always positive and never negative or literal. Yeah, I didn't sleep as much as I wanted last night. I believe communication is done this way because the superconscious has been communicating with the unconscious since before language was introduced. It works with pre-verbal communication. To ensure I get correct information from the superconscious, I create a specific container for the information I'm after, and then I trust what I get. Once I have a symbol or message from the superconscious, I must make up or form what is signified. Invention is the most creative act there is. We look up to people who have produced great artwork, businesses, marriages, health, books, and more. However, we have resistance to being allowed to make it up. As a child, we were likely told off for making it up. If you want to have a great working relationship with the superconscious, you must make it up and use your intuition. I will explain what this looks like later in the chapter. Once you have the connection, you can simply ask or command the superconscious to change the instructions to give you insight into the truth. Let's give it a go. Creating a body connection. Our first goal is to notice how our superconscious wants to give us a yes or no command. If you remember our previous exercise, you were able to get a feeling from your body when something was a mistake and when something was correct. You will receive a yes or no from the superconscious in a similar way. First, let's create a yes feeling in our bodies. Remember a time when you made a correct choice or decision. Close your eyes and imagine it. Notice what you feel and experience it in your body. Become fluent with this feeling. When you are really feeling it, decide that this feeling will represent a yes. Now do the same for a no. Remember a time when you made an innocent choice or decision. Close your eyes and imagine it. Notice what you feel and experience it in your body. Become fluent with this feeling. When you are really feeling it, decide that this feeling will represent a now. Please do not skip ahead in this process, as you will get the best results by going through these fully. Next, close your eyes and connect to your heart. Let go of needing to know. Let go of the moment and just count your breaths as you take 10 big, slow breaths, focusing on your heart and feeling gratitude and feeling grateful for the moment. When you are done, open your eyes. Now ask to connect to your superconscious. Ask, Superconscious, are you there? Notice what you feel. Allow whatever is true to be there. Now let's create a container or structure for the information we wish to receive. Give the command, Superconscious, I want you to show me a yes or a no. Think of a decision you need to make. Close your eyes and ask, Superconscious, is this the right decision? Notice how you feel. Was it a yes or a no? What did you get? This process takes some practice, but once you are able to get a clear yes or no from your superconscious, life becomes a whole lot easier. Receiving guidance. Now that you can connect to your superconscious, you can receive information from the field, which is really fun. The key is allowing yourself to make it up and learning to trust what you get. It's an advanced process, and you don't need to learn how to do it to work with the superconscious field. Having the ability to receive a yes and a no is more than enough. That said, learning to receive guidance is the highest form of communicating with the superconscious. Remember, what you receive is never negative or literal. For example, I was once working with a client, and the guidance I saw was him killing a young boy. This was obviously not literal. It meant it was time for him to kill the inner boy and step into owning his life like a man. The guidance you receive is never literal, it is for you, and you must find your meaning. The wisdom process. There is a process for doing this, and we call it the wisdom process. It starts off by deciding the end result / decision you want information on, and then letting the superconscious guide you to what is there. When you learn to get information from the field, life will never be the same again. First, you access the superconscious by going into innocence and into your heart, and then you ask open-ended questions. By getting a symbol or metaphor or vision, you know you are working with the superconscious. Whatever you get, you must start writing down what it suggests. As you write the meaning, you may end up in a completely different place than you presumed. If you happen to get a vision of exactly what you think you are supposed to do, write that down. It may or may not change, but write it down so you have it. Let's go through the process step by step. The first thing to do is define what choice you want information on. Say I choose the end result of blank. Start with one of the core choices. So, for example, me speaking here, I choose the end result of living the life I love, because that's one of the core four orientational choices. Next, connect to the superconscious by dropping into your heart. Once you are connected to the superconscious, you may want to muscle test or ask the question to ensure you feel connected. Once connected, you will use open-ended questions to get a symbol, vision, or metaphor. Use open-ended questions like, what are all the possible ways I could achieve this? By doing this, you allow your superconscious to go on a search of the field and come back with information for you. Once you have information, the next step is to decipher what it means. The only way to decipher what it means is to interpret it through your imagination and make it up. Remember, you must allow yourself to make up what you are getting and what is coming through. Allow possibilities to be there and allow yourself to flow. To summarize, here are the steps of the wisdom process to receive guidance from the superconscious. 1. Choose an end result you would like to create. For example, I choose the end result of living in a castle with my son and speeding around with him in our brand new Porsche 911. Yeah, it's one of my true choices right now. 2. Connect to your heart and allow yourself to be present. 3. Close your eyes and visualize/accept the end result of this creation as true now. 4. Notice the current reality or current creation compared to that end result. 5. Ask for the superconscious to give you a symbol, metaphor, or guidance on what needs to be done next. And 6. Write down what you receive and what it means to you. Now it's your turn. Grab a pen and paper and give this a go. How was that? Did you get something? It doesn't have to be much. We've only just begun. Now let's have fun working with the superconscious to change instructions in our field and transform our reality. Hold me accountable for this because I've said things like this before and I forget. I'm going to comment below in the description this 6-step process for you to read through and do later in your own time, and maybe even comment it and put it in the description, and but I would recommend just buying the book as well. The recode. You can use the superconscious to treat and change any resistance you have to an end result you would like to manifest. We do this by using the recode process. When we are using the creative structure, we trigger resistance into the active experience through structural tension. Your active experience is everything you are consciously and unconsciously experiencing right now. It is made up of thoughts, feelings, memories, desires, people, situations, and more. When you decide to go for the desired reality and step into the emotion of having it, you will find that you're not 100% feeling good about taking the obligated action. This feeling is called resistance. Resistance is not a bad thing. It's just a previous creation designed to keep you from ending up in a painful situation. It was put there by you to prevent you from ending up in a situation you previously thought was dangerous or unsafe. This is because the number one job of the unconscious is to ensure you and your body survive. This is not a bad thing, but this safety mechanism starts to hinder your life because the unconscious decides that anything new is not safe. It decides it's not safe because it's unproven. From the unconscious perspective, if you or your family have not lived through an experience, it's not as safe as the ones you have. So the unconscious sends warning signs in the form of uncomfortable feelings whenever you are about to do something new. Of course, just because something is new doesn't make it unsafe. In fact, the new condition may actually be safer. In spite of logic, the unconscious wants to keep everything the same. Therefore, whenever you create something new, there is a battle. This battle is between your self-conscious that wants to create new realities and your unconscious that wants to keep everything the same. Resistance is the mechanism the unconscious uses to win the fight and keep everything the same. All resistance is a set of beliefs, thoughts, identities, emotions, or other aspects of you that make that made a decision that was useful in the past. You may experience amnesia during this process of trying to find what is in the way. If you are unsure of where the resistance comes from, that is okay. If you just can't seem to follow through on a certain thing or create a certain outcome, but you don't know why, all you need to know is there is resistance. Your superconscious can work the rest out. There is no need to try and dig up a lifetime of reasons why you can't achieve something. It's enough just to know there is a block. When it comes to health, some people just can't seem to get the results they want. In relationships, people get triggered into saying things they don't mean. As you face resistance, you might feel like you have more than one personality. One that wants to do a certain action, forgive, go to the gym, meditate, or make that phone call, and the other one wants to get angry, procrastinate, doubt, blame, or get anxious. We have many sub-personalities, and most of them work together in harmony. You do not have the same personality while you're with your children, while at work, or even when you are out with your friends. You are a different character with different values, speech, patterns, and outcomes. The problem arises when one of the sub-personalities is against the action another wants to take. For example, you have a sub-personality that is an achiever and another created to avoid all rejection. These two will fight, and usually the one that has experienced the most pain will win. You may have no recollection of this sub-personality. It may just be a feeling or a set of information passed down from generations. Either way, the resistance is there, and you would prefer it not to be. Many times, a memory is the originator of the resistance. The memory is likely not part of the main personality. It could have been created in this lifetime or passed down through the family DNA. You have many dormant memories. You have no conscious awareness of them, but something in your life can trigger them into your active experience. A dormant memory is one that is not in the active experience, and it can be triggered into the active experience easily. For example, do you remember where you were on September 11th, 2001? Me personally, no, I was 3 months old, so I don't really remember much. But I'm sure my parents remember. Or can you remember the last time you rode a bicycle? Yeah, it blimmin' hurt. Do you remember when you graduated from high school or university? No, I didn't fucking graduate. Or the death or birth of someone you love. Yep, my cat and my son. I am sure you answered yes to at least one of the above. You were obviously not thinking about them before I asked. These memories were dormant, which proves you have many dormant memories outside your active experience. You also have many patterns that run automatically. Speech, writing, and walking are complex patterns that involve many muscles, neurons, and systems. However, your unconscious runs the pattern the same way it runs a thought process. Have you ever wondered if your thoughts were actually your own? Behind the self-conscious veil, there are literally billions of cell divisions, thoughts, feelings, and other automatic processes happening every second that you are not aware of. They have been learned in this lifetime, modeled from parents, and passed down. Again, we do not need to know where they come from. We don't need to know where they came from. We simply must notice they exist so we can recode the information. The recode works by explaining to the superconscious that this current pattern is not the pattern we desire to continue. Most think resistance is an enemy, but the truth is, all resistance, all patterns, and all information were for you. It was very useful at one time. For instance, a person abused by a stranger as a child creates a useful belief not to trust strangers. However, that belief now creates a negative effect for this person as an adult who wants to meet crowds of strangers to make sales and do business with them. A baby elephant can be tied to a little rope and a small stake in the ground, and it will not be able to run away. This same elephant, as an adult, can be tied in the same way and not pull at all. They have learned helplessness, much the same way we do as humans. However, we can recode the information and therefore make new decisions. This is done by separating the emotion and content of a memory, because emotion is the instruction to the unconscious and causes the resistance. Our unconscious must learn what the truth is, let go of the pain, and grow more competent. But because the unconscious takes everything personally, it usually misses the real learning and holds on to the pain for a lifetime. This avoidance leads to more pain in life. If we can recode the information and allow true learning to be present, the correct actions can be taken. For example, you may have been rejected many times in your life. The rejections that stick with you are the ones with the most pain associated with them. The pain was created as a warning for the unconscious to avoid that situation in the future. You may need to learn to do your best regardless of what others think. You may need to learn that people will reject you, and that's okay. Rejection doesn't change your worth. That's for real learning. When we do the superconscious work, we connect with the resistance and ask for it to be treated, allowing true learning to take place. The recode works by changing all the instructions that cause resistance. This allows a different action to be taken. A good way to explain this is by thinking about an end result you have not been able to manifest. Imagine the end result being at the end of a road. Because of past actions, the road is in disrepair and cannot be driven on. You notice potholes, and they stop you from being able to move forward. What needs to happen? You need to fix the road. Luckily, because you created all the resistance, potholes, you can easily fix or change them. As soon as you do, you can easily move to what you desire, or put it in a different way. Your superconscious will remember how these potholes came into existence, and in a perfect way and perfect order will fill them in and smooth them over, allowing you to easily move to your end result. How much you acknowledge and change resistance is up to you. This process is about creating results you desire, not being perfect. However, that old pattern is in the way of what you desire. I suggest getting new information. The old information was valid, but is not useful anymore. You can be amazing with a sword, but it's not useful anymore. You can be amazing with a sword, but it's useless in a gunfight. The yellow pages might have helped you find a dentist in the past, but now you can just go online and search for one. It doesn't matter how useful the original information was. The question is, will it help you in the future? I think of resistance like a vampire, sucking the life out of what we want to create. As soon as we shine some light on it, it evaporates into nothingness. With the superconscious recode, you can recode any resistance in your identity and have what you desire. You can be it so you can see it. You don't need to change your whole self, fix the past, or try to be perfect. You simply need to focus on what you desire and notice what is in the way. Once you determine what is in the way, you can connect to your superconscious and change the coding. I like to say this process is like having a river of desire. At the end of the river is the land of plenty with everything you would love to see manifest, and you are in the current reality of the current in the river. As you move towards what you desire, some boulders pop up and stop the flow of the river, making it impossible to flow to what you desire. These boulders can easily be removed by remembering when they were useful and choosing to smooth them over or roll them away so a new flow can happen. This process is very easy and gentle, and you will experience profound shifts. I am going to get myself a glass of milk. Play. This process is very easy and gentle and will experience profound shift. Where was I? With the superconscious recode, you can recode any resistance in your identity and have what you desire. You can be it so you can see it. You don't need to change your whole self, fix the past, or try to be perfect. You simply need to focus on what you desire and notice what is in the way. Once you determine what is in the way, you can connect to your superconscious and change the coding. I like to say this process is like having a river of desire. Right, I definitely read that. I suppose I'm at the top of this page. These boulders can easily be removed by remembering when they were useful and choosing to smooth them over and roll them away so a new flow can happen. This process is very easy and gentle, and you will experience profound shifts. Sorry if I'm repeating myself. Occasionally, the resistance is too much to move in one session. Too much of the identity is caught up in it. It's like there's a huge boulder the size of a car in the way of the end result. Instead of trying to remove it all in one go, we simply ask the superconscious to recode a small part over multiple sessions until there is no resistance left. In this case, you let your superconscious know to chisel a piece off and remove a little part at a time. After a few sessions, the whole boulder is moved. There is no need to rush. And soon enough, I'll be offering recode sessions for you people. You know a recode has worked when what was stopping you from moving towards your end result is no longer a problem. We are not sitting still, asking what is wrong with this and trying to fix it. Instead, we are in momentum, moving towards a result we would love, and we are aligning with that. In this process, you get to be a creator. You get to have it all and be in love with creating more things you love. This is the reason why we are on this planet, to experience our creative energy and witness ourselves creating. You are always creating, and you always have been. Now you are just taking control of that function. Trial, Superconscious, Recode. This exercise will be a test/trial/practice recode session, which is how we use the superconscious to remove resistance and unwanted feelings towards the desired end result. I invite you to follow this exercise that will introduce you to the world of the superconscious and what is possible. Later, we will move on and do the process with all your true choices. But first, it's important to learn to recode your resistance and connect with your superconscious. The end result of our test/trial/practice session is for you to witness a change. It's best to work on something you have a charge on, but it isn't central. It's best to work on something you have a charge on, but isn't central to your identity. Pardon me. A charge is a heightened emotion above what is normally necessary. Working on the anxiety of public speaking or fear of an insect or animal makes for a great test session because the identity doesn't have to give much up to experience the recode. There is not much at stake, and most aspects agree it's a good thing to recode the instructions. So pick something you have a charge on that doesn't have huge identity resistance. You can use the examples above or think of a negative emotion that is sometimes triggered for you. The trigger might happen in a close relationship. You get so annoyed when blah 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 does blah blah blah. Or it might occur with certain circumstances. You see blank on the news and feel blank. The reason we are choosing something with a charge is so you can experience the shift. I would like for you to choose something with a charge of about 6 or 7 out of 10, with 10 being the highest negative emotion you could feel. Once you have decided on your focus, please write it down. The test session, I will be focused on blank. The resistance I feel is a out of 10. Once you have chosen your test, set a clear end result of how you would like to feel instead. For example, when I see a spider, I choose to feel calm and centered. Or when I speak on stage, I choose to feel natural and confident. Go ahead and write that down. I choose to feel something when something. Now we're going to collapse the wave of possibilities and choose this end result. Do this by closing your eyes, choosing this reality and experiencing it in the invisible. So, close your eyes. Use your imagination to step into the reality you desire. Choose to have it, accept it as true, and experience it. What is it like? How does it feel? How great would it be to have this reality? Witness yourself at that moment the exact way you desire, staying in the end result for at least 20 seconds. If you haven't already, please close your eyes and do it now. Did you do it? Did it feel good? Yes? Keep going. 20 seconds. Feel the end result. Visualize it, feel it, it's real, it's now. Did you feel it? Did you do it? Did it feel good? Yeah. Okay, so now we want to figure out what is stopping you from feeling that way all the time. You will do this by dropping into the current reality, into the current of the river of desire, where you are now. Imagine the end result is a shooting star, and you are experiencing the tail of it, where it started. It's time to experience the now and create the perfect structure. Ask yourself, compared to the reality I desire, what is it like now? Where am I now? What have I created compared to what I desire? What thoughts and feelings do I have? How am I defining myself, others, and the world? What conflicts do I have? How do I finish the sentence? It would be really nice to have that result, but I can't because... ? Write down your answers. Now that you have allowed the resistance to come into the active experience, you need to own that you are the superconscious creator and you created all of this. All resistance was useful at some time. Note that I said it was useful, not right, not wrong. It was just useful to you or someone who came before you. We do not need to know why it is there, just that it is. It's time to change the instructions. So the resistance is no longer there. Let's connect to the superconscious. To connect, I want you to drop into the field of your heart by closing your eyes and taking a few deep breaths. Big breaths. Picture a small baby or child having fun playing with a small furry kitten. Watch the joy in their face and experience how it is for them in that moment. Connect to their playful joy in the moment, and witness a part of yourself in them as you remember what it was like to be a child, or make it up. Remember what you love, and remember you have an imagination. With each breath, allow yourself to connect with your heart. Connect with these two beautiful young energies, and feel joy for no reason at all as you drop deeper into your heart. Allow yourself to sit there for a moment or two. Close your eyes and do it now. Now ask to connect to your superconscious and get a sensation in the body to signal a yes. Say, superconscious, are you there? Can you show me a yes? Notice what changes as you ask it. This is your yes. Close your eyes and do it now. Command your superconscious to treat all the resistance to the end result you are creating. Ask it to treat the original event and all emotions, thoughts, and beliefs that are stopping the natural flow. Superconscious, please treat all resistance, including the original event, emotions, thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. Close your eyes and say the above sentence in your mind. Now wait a few moments and notice what is different. You will likely feel or sense a calm energy flow through you. When you feel it is right, ask your superconscious if there is any resistance left over that needs to be treated today. Superconscious: if there is any resistance left that needs to be treated today, please treat it. Wait a few moments, then step back into your end result. Experience the end result again as you would like it. Close your eyes and, imagining yourself experiencing it in the perfect emotion, notice what is different. Notice how you feel. Ask yourself what is different, what has changed. Open your eyes and think about your end result and how you would like to be in that state in the future. What level of resistance do you have to being that way the next time you have the same experience? How will you feel if you are asked to speak in public, or the next time a spider crawls in front of you, or the next time that old triggered emotion comes up? Do you feel the same or different? Has the resistance dropped? What number is it out of 10? You likely had at least a small drop in your resistance, and you've had your first experience of using your superconscious to recode the resistance. It's very cool, isn't it? There is more still, but first, I want to say great job. Welcome to the world of the superconscious. If you have completed this chapter, you have learned how to connect to your superconscious, receive guidance, and do the recode. This forms a large part of the full system, our full system. You are well on your way to living superconsciously. Remember, this is your very first go at it, and you will get a lot better. So even if you only feel a slight or small change, it's a start. Now that you have done a practice session, if you would like to try a recode on one of the core 4 choices, you can. Or jump into the next chapter, where we will dive into it even further. To work on one of the core 4 choices, simply redo this process with the choice as the theme of the end result instead of charged emotion. For clarity, we use the charged emotion in the practice session to get used to the idea. We never go looking for resistance or problems. That's just crazy. Instead, as we focus on our choice, we notice what is stopping us. Then we use this process to recode that resistance. The key is to ensure you are focused on what you are creating. We will now only focus on creating. There is a big difference between building yourself and to become a confident public speaker versus healing social anxiety. The latter is focused on the need to fix and gives no clear instructions on what you are creating. By creating the end result we love, the old problem will not exist anymore. However, by trying to just fix the old problem reality, we only give it power, which will never work long term. By connecting to the superconscious, you can change anything that doesn't serve what you wish to create. You can also use it to gain insight into living your truth and gaining insight from the unified field. There is so much information available in the field. You can learn to use it to guide you towards what is right for you. In the next chapter, we will uncover what you really love. You will learn to open the wizard's gate and own the magnetic moment. Chapter 6. Review. To connect to the superconscious, you must drop down into your heart, access innocence, and stop needing to know everything. To really see the truth, you must learn to stop needing to know how it is and go into a childlike place of presence, awe, openness, and innocence. Our process of communicating with the superconscious looks like this. 1. Go into innocence, drop into your heart. 2. Connect with the superconscious through direct communication. 3. Get information through a message or symbol. By connecting to the superconscious, you can change anything that is not serving what you wish to create. You can also use it to gain insight into living your truth and gaining insight from the unified field. There is so much information available, and you can learn to use it to guide you towards what is right for you. When you live the core 4 choices, you have mastered the magnetic moment, and you can then decide what you really love. By using the superconscious to decipher what you love, you are much more effective at creating because you no longer create two waves of information in the field. You have all your focus on just the one thing you desire to create, instead of having half of your focus on what you want and the other half elsewhere. Resistance is not a bad thing. It is just a previous creation designed to keep you from ending up in painful situations. It has acted as a guiding system to keep you safe. However, it is now the opposing force of the action you desire to take. It can show up as a feeling, a thought, or simply as an unconscious block. All resistance is a set of beliefs, thoughts, identities, emotions, or other aspects of you that made a decision that was useful in the past. Stay tuned. In the next video, we will be on Chapter 7, and 7 is my lucky number, so Chapter 7 is going to be the best one yet. Stay super conscious. Glory to God. Create something wonderful. See you soon.